Students, it's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture. Today, we are going to discuss the combination of capacitors. As we have already discussed about resistors and cells, capacitors are also connected in two manners, that is series combination and parallel combination. First of all, let us discuss series combination of capacitors. So you all know that how series combination takes place. Okay, when the end of one capacitor is connected to another, end of second one is connected to third, and the end of the first one and this one last one is connected to the source. Okay, so that time this type of combination is called series combination. We have already discussed about it in resistor one. Okay, now here suppose the source is there, here this is V is there. So suppose there is one source through which V voltage is supplied to this circuit. Now as we all know that potential depends upon the distance. Okay, so because the capacitors C1, C2 and C3, they all are at different distances from source, so that's why their voltages, their potential drops will be different. So for capacitor C1 it is V1, for capacitor C2 the potential is V2, and for capacitor C3 the potential is V3. Okay, this is the positive terminal of battery. So here you can see this plate is positively charged, so automatically induction will take place there, and this plate will become negatively charged, and that induction continue. So left side of plate will become positively charged and right side will become negatively charged. Okay, so like this the plates are charged here. Then we already have discussed that how different potentials are there with respect to different plates, but the total voltage of the circuit is V. So V will be equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Let me once again explain you. Here students, in front of you one figure is there in which three capacitors C1, C2 and C3, they are connected in series. Okay, and the ends of this series combination is connected to the power source which applies a voltage V. Because all the three capacitors are at different distances from source, so that's why their potentials will be different. So for capacitor C1 potential is V1, for C2 potential is V2 and for C3 potential is V3. So the total potential of the circuit V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now suppose the capacitance of three capacitors are C1, C2 and C3. So from the formula which we have already derived in our previous lecture, where potential equals to charge upon capacitance. Okay, so here V1 equals to Q upon C1, V2 equals to Q upon C2 and V3 equals to Q upon C3. Here you must take care that Q is same for all the plates. That's why we have not denoted it by Q1, Q2, but simply we have denoted it by Q, because the charges on all the plate is same, but the capacitance are different, so that's why C1, C2 and C3 we have used. Okay, now we have to find out the total potential drop, which is equals to V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. By putting the value of V1, V2 and V3, we get Q as common, and in bracket we will get 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. Okay. Now suppose total capacitance of the series combination. Here I am not talking about the individual one. The individual capacitances are C1, C2, C3, and suppose the total capacitance of the series combination is C and total voltage is V. So here from Q equals to C into V, we have V equals to Q upon C. This is the value of V here which we have derived, and this is also the value of V. So when we compare these two values here, okay, so Q will cancel and we will have this formula 1 upon C equals to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. So if you look at the resultant capacitance in series circuit, So you can find it similar to the cell one. Okay, in series combination of cell also we were getting same type of equation. Okay, so here the reciprocal of total capacitance, resultant capacitance of the circuit is the algebraic sum of reciprocal of individual resistances. That means if the capacitors are connected in series, so their resultant capacitance will be less than the least value of individual capacitance. That means when capacitors are connected in series, their capacitance decreases. The ability to store charge decreases. Okay. Now let us discuss the parallel combination. Here in front of you, you can see the diagram for parallel combination. Now here in this combination, all the capacitors are at same distance from V, so the potential at all the capacitors will be same. C1, C2 and C3, they all will get the same potential. But when charge will be supplied to them, so at point A, the charge will distribute it in 3 parts. As in case of resistors, current was distributed. So here the charges will be distributed. Okay. So they all will have different amount of charges. For capacitor C1 we have Q1 charge. For capacitor C2 we have Q2 charge. And for capacitor C3 we have Q3 charge. In previous combination, the voltage was different, so we have derived the individual voltage and then we find out the total voltage. But here the charges are different, so here we will derive the value of different charges and then we will find out the total charge in the combination. Okay, so here you can see the formula. Q1 equals to C1V. This is the charge on capacitor C1. For capacitor C2 we have Q2 equals to C2V, and for capacitor C3 we have Q3 equals to C3V. And total charge stored in the combination Q equals to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. When we put the value, then V will come as common, and in bracket we have C1 plus C2 plus C3. Okay, or we can simply write C equals to Q upon V. So when we put the value of Q here, this V and this V will cancel out and we have C1 plus C2 plus C3. Okay, so here the total combination, resultant capacitance of the parallel combination is equals to the algebraic sum of individual combinations, individual capacitances. So that means when we have to increase the value of resultant capacitance, so that time the capacitor should be connected in parallel combination. Okay, hence the net or equivalent capacitance of the parallel combination of capacitor is equal to the sum of their capacitances. So one question can come in your examination for 1 mark or 2 mark only, like in which manner the capacitor should be connected to to get more capacitance. So the answer is parallel combination, because in series combination we are getting very less resultant capacitance. So that's why to get the more capacitance, the capacitors should be connected in parallel combination. Now let us discuss our next topic, which is energy stored in a capacitor. When a capacitor is connected across a battery, it gets charged and stores electrical energy. Okay, but when it stores electrical energy, so what happens? The capacitor pull a charge from the positive plate of a capacitor, okay, and pulses them onto the negative plate. In the process of charging a capacitor, what happens? Battery pulls the electron from the positive plate of the capacitor and pulses them onto the negative plate. That means here the battery is transferring the electron from one plate to another plate. As a result, the plate which loses its electron keep acquiring more and more positive charge, and the other plate becomes equally negatively charged. So are you understanding what is happening here? here the battery is pulling the electron from the positive plate of capacitor to the negative plate. So, when the electron moves from positive to negative plate, the positive plate again get charge from the battery. So, positive plates get charge from battery and equal amount of charge is transferred to the negative plate. Okay, so on both the plates this process of charging is happening. At one plate continuously positively charges are there, at other plate continuously negatively charges are accumulated there. Okay, in this process work is done by the battery in transforming the charge at the cost of its stored chemical energy. So as we all know that batteries are of various type. Here we are using the chemical battery, the battery inside which the chemical is stored. So when the in capacitor the charges are transferring from one plate to another plate, so some work is done by the battery, and that work is done by the energy which is stored in the battery in form of chemical energy. Okay, so now when we find out the total work done by the battery, that work will be equals to the energy stored in a capacitor. Okay, whatever amount of work the battery does, that work will be stored in capacitor in form of its energy. Now suppose in capacitor Q charge is there, okay, and V is the potential difference between the plates of the capacitor. So that time what will be the value of V? V equals to Q upon C. Now suppose in that charged plate we add some more charge dq, a small amount of charge dq. So here a small amount of work is done dw, which is equals to V into dq. By putting the value of V, we have Q upon C into dq. Okay. So this is the small amount of work done when we have charged the plate by a very small charge dq. Now suppose the plate is totally uncharged. That means here what is the amount of charge? 0. And we have to charge the plate to Q. Okay, we have to give Q charge to the plate. Initially the charge is 0 and we have to give charge to plate. How much amount of charge? Q charge. So that means this small work we have to integrate from 0 to Q. Okay, initially uncharged to a charge Q. So when we integrate this small work from 0 to Q, we get this value. C capacitance. This is constant, so 1 upon C will come out. Okay, we will integrate Q.